Right then, Chelsea have started pretty well this season under Enzo Maresca, but it could look a lot different by the end of the season. Hey you lovely little lot, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I do hope you're doing well. I really do hope that today we're going to be having a little bit of fun, right? Because Chelsea have so many good players, and we are an unknown quantity under this new management team and under a relatively inexperienced coach in Enzo Maresca. He has the ability this season to play loads of different players in different competitions, of course the Cups, but more notably the Conference League. An opportunity to test out superstar players that aren't starting at the moment. And, excuse me, hay fever. By the end of the campaign, we could have Nkunku as a striker, we could have Pedro Neto as a right winger, Jorgensen could be the starting goalkeeper, Lavia might be an absolute mainstay in the midfield for us to function properly, Joao Felix might just have to get into the side, you know, if he starts demonstrating immense quality. Where are we going to play him? Well, today I'm going to attempt to use this website, Footbin, to build lineups, maybe different formations, and talk about it with you guys who we think maybe can start by the end of the season. We'll build a lineup now, like in terms of what we'd expect to see right now, and then we'll change that and speculate what we think if the quality comes through. And there's a lot of quality players in the Chelsea squad. There really is. As always, comment as you go. If you agree with what I'm saying, let me know in the comment section below. If you've got some alterations, if you think it's completely incorrect, let me know, comment. And in the meantime, I'll thank you for liking the video. I do really appreciate the support. We're trying to hit that 200,000 subscriber barrier this season, relatively close to 190, so please do subscribe if you want to. Hit the bell if you choose to. Let's get into it. Oh, we might as well just crack on, eh? Let's do this. Here we go. Ding, 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 ding. I wonder if we can was Maresca going to come up as a manager? No. No Maresca. That's a shame. That is a shame. What? Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. Right, so we're going to do it for the moment as we would expect it tomorrow, okay? So Nico Jackson as the striker. For now, Noni Madueke as the right mid, and despite only playing, let's just do Neto, because we know Neto's got the start. Many people will think he will he won't start for the moment because of Jadon Sancho, but for the moment, let's have a look at this. Right, Cam, of course, this looks like it's never going to change. 85 Cole Palmer on the latest EAFC. CDM, definitely Caicedo. And if all fit at the moment, I do think it's still going to be Enzo Fernandez. There he is. He's a quality player. If we can find the way to make it work. Now, I'm going to just go with no injuries, okay? Okay? So, Lauren James. That should probably help us out. Reece James, captain there. He might be playing conventional right back. He might be inverting into the midfield. Left, Cucurella. Let's be real, left back Cucurella. Goalkeeper for the moment, Sanchez. There you go, you can play Sancho there. And let's be honest, Colwill, 77, that is cold. And for fun, Wesley, 78. My boys, my beautiful boys, they should not be 77 and 78, but heck, ignore the ratings for the moment. We're just using this as formation. Now, if everyone was fit and we had a game to win tomorrow, I think this is who we would see. Now, we would also see substitute appearances from Joao Felix, Nkunku, Sancho, let's say Lavia, maybe, Gusto, let's get him in there. Who else could we see for the moment? We could talk about like the likes of Vega. I'm not going to change the centre backs for the moment because I believe the belief will be with those two young centre backs moving forwards. I am gonna just trigger a lot of people. I'm gonna sneak my boy in. And what do we think? But the thing is, Rob Sanchez dropped such an amazing performance in against Bournemouth that suddenly everyone's like, he's the guy. He can do it. Rob Sanchez. Like, no one's really clamoring for Jorgensen. So maybe we'll just keep Sanchez in there for the moment. I don't know. Who else are we missing here? Felix and Gungu Sancho Lavia, Gusto. I'm definitely missing someone. I could say Mark Gue, but you know. So this is for the moment what we could expect. We could change the formation into an inverting fullback. And to be honest, you can just imagine from looking at this, Reece inverting into the midfield, joining Caicedo. So those two would be at the base of midfield. Cole Palmer would go to sort of this area here, right 8. And Enzo would kind of go to a slightly deeper left 8. That's what we'd imagine, right? Now, this is what I'd imagine right now. But do I think this is Chelsea's strongest lineup in the future? Maybe, but maybe not. So if you would permit me, I'm going to do something here. Now, I've dropped Noni Madueke, and you might be thinking, Jan, Noni Madueke's been excellent at the beginning of the season. And he has. And he's a great player, and I'm happy for Noni to continue his form and development at Chelsea, and if he's a starter, I've got no issue with this. I'm only guessing and speculating here, guys, but I do feel like Pedro Neto is such an elite tormentor of Premier League teams for many years now, including like Man City and stuff. And I think we've got so much more to see from Neto. Neto can be like the, Eden Hazard of Wolves. He can definitely be a very, very good operator at Chelsea, starting for a Galactico Portuguese national team side. I think he plays better on the right. He's, of course, listed here as a right mid. And this means, obviously, the left side is opened up for Jadon Sancho. Now, Liam Twomey of The Athletic did an article. He wasn't saying Jadon Sancho is the next Eden Hazard. Of course, we've had that with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Of course, we've had that with Christian Pulisic. Of course, to a degree, in terms of getting the 10 shirt and like big potential, we had a little bit with Mudryk. Well, actually, I don't want to say Sancho's the closest to Hazard because I'm not sure he is. Sancho's a proper winger. Hazard was probably closer to Palmer. Hazard's probably a hybrid of the both. He wanted to play make a little bit more like Palmer, but Hazard just wanted the ball to stick to his feet and move for everyone. Hazard is like the best of Palmer, Sancho, and Grealish put together. Do you know what I mean? Like that, he's like a superstar. Anyway, we're not talking about Eden Hazard. But the interesting thing that Twomey spoke about here is the entries into the final third that we used with the left winger. That since Eden had the reason why this is Eden Hazard related is because it's since his last season under Maurizio Sarri before he went to Real Madrid. All other entries, understandably and unsurprisingly, went through the left flank. And of course, Cole Palmer arriving has been a great thing, but he's not playing anywhere in the left channels. The left channel is dead. And Cucurella is a good player, but he's not an attacking player. He's a very technically competent player. He can be a great defender, but he's not a flying fullback that's going to attack loads. So our left-hand side has been quite dead. It has been. So, enter Jadon Sancho, and I don't want to get overly excited for 45 minutes, but I'm allowed to get excited because 4 or 5 years ago, I made like so many videos on this channel about Jadon Sancho. He's only 24, so both wingers here are 24 years old. He'll offer so much more. And actually, I was catching loads of heat because I was saying this. Jadon Sancho likes to play with a flying attacking fullback. He'll come inside, he'll go outside, and if he does go outside, who loves making inverted runs to score? Ben Chilwell. I am not calling for Ben Chilwell to start over Marc Cucurella. I just haven't got a short memory, and I am open to the potential situation of him getting back into the team, Maresca in some games playing a conventional back four where a fullback gets forward, combines with a winger, which Jadon Sancho loves. Now, I'm just saying that could happen, but for the moment, before I catch any more heat, let's put Cucurella back there before I upset anyone. So what other changes will you make? Well, Sancho's on the side. Pedro Neto, I think we can get so much more out of him. I kind of worry to a degree for Enzo Fernandez. I think he'll always have a place at Chelsea in terms of development, and he's a captain at Chelsea. He's very, very important. But I do wonder in certain games where we need to take control, if that's what we need to see. Obviously, if we are inverting James and James is joining Caicedo, James is very, very capable. And Lavia, you know, Lavia can carry the ball very well and connect. And I personally see Enzo Fernandez as a more offensively impactful player as Lavia. But the fact how Chelsea often, and I mean like often, for years and recently as well, we look like we're losing midfield battles. And if we want to take control of games, we got attackers. We got all the attackers we know we do. But we're losing the midfield. What would you say? Do you want Caicedo or Enzo, or do you want Caicedo and Lavia? Many people who have watched Chelsea are all probably going to say Caicedo and Lavia. I'm not, but you know, like I said, if we are inverting the midfield, the right back into the midfield, then I think you get away with having Enzo Fernandez there. Now, of course, huge talking points here, striker. Everyone loves Nico Jackson. He signed a new deal. He gets praised all the time by strikers, pundits who know what they're talking about because he's always making the right runs. He's doing the right thing. He's not a prolific goal scorer. He's never going to outscore his XG. If he just meets his normal XG, which an elite striker should, we'll be in business, and he is our starting striker. But, of course, we've spoken about it recently. Can we get the elite finisher and the soon-to-be turning 27-year-old Nkunku in this starting 11? Now, really, his position is like here. It's like, you know, when Palmer plays here, Palmer's doing this. He's going, woo, woo, play make, outright, combined with Noni or Neto in this instance. You know, all over the gaff. It's kind of a free role, but working hard. That's not necessarily what Nkunku does when Nkunku's here. Nkunku wants to sort of occupy this space or this position in this lineup, but he wants to sort of be here behind whoever this is, whether it's a Jackson or ideally like an Osimhen or something like that, you know, and he wants to be here running in behind, turning, combining, 1-2s in behind scoring, making space, combining. Little man, you know, striker, so it could be a 4-4-2, big man, little man, and that's another thing we can look at. But Palmer is going to suffer if we play a 4-4-2. So that's the big question. Can we turn Nkunku into a striker? I spoke about it in yesterday's video. The thing is with Enzo Maresca, he likes to play conventional wingers. That's why he loves Noni. That's why he loves Sancho. And in theory, he should love Neto once we get him going. And he loves a striker. That's why we were looking at Samu Amorodion. That's why we were looking at John Duran. That's why we were looking at Victor Osimhen. These are conventional number 9s. Jackson is sort of recently converted into a conventional number 9, but we would probably do better to have a proper 9, which is tricky because Nkunku is far from that. But if we can find a way to get this goal-scoring demon superstar into the lineup, I wonder if this is the front four for the moment. Sancho, Nkunku, and Pedro Neto, right? Because then I'm just trying to think of like, because then your second, because this is wild, okay? So you go, right, that's super quality. If you get Pedro Neto going and Jadon Sancho going, combining with Palmer behind what is the elite superstar of Nkunku. And then you go, right, so what's your Conference League team front three? Well, it's this. Which is insane. Like, if you said, you know, last season, right? Let's say the beginning of preseason, before we signed Neto, before we signed Sancho, if you said, right, and Madueke was in form, if you said, right, Chelsea fans, you are going to sign Joao Felix on a really favourable transfer fee. He wants to come back. He's willing to half his wages to get into the Chelsea side. He loved it at Chelsea. A lot of people are like, yeah, Joao Felix, yeah, all right. Mudrik's not been great. Sterling, was he going to just pretend he goes on loan to Arsenal? You don't know the deal of it. Sterling's going. Felix is going to come in on a really affordable wages as a replacement for Sterling, 5 years younger. Many Chelsea fans would be, thank you very much. But then if you said, right, actually no, the Felix, Jackson and Madueke, who's both in form, and Jackson had a good first season, this is your second choice front three for the Conference League, you'd be thinking, ruddy heck, what's our first choice? Well, an in-form, a reborn Jadon Sancho, boyhood Chelsea fan, finally playing on his preferred left wing, and Nkunku, who of course we all know is an elite finisher, comfortable enough to start top as a striker. And that's right, everyone's favourite demon that's not a top 6 player, Pedro Neto, who's like tormented Chelsea in the past and Man City, is only 24, you know, plays with like all the superstars in the Portugal national team. Yeah, he signs for Chelsea and he could be a starting right winger. Suddenly, that's pretty darn elite. And the truth is, they're all excellent in their own right, but you've got the true superstar here. You've got the true superstar here starting, you know. And to be honest, like, look, many of us are, you know, down on Mudryk for a few reasons, you know. But you could even have, so this is our Premier League front four, right? You could even have this as your conference front four. So you can, not Mudryk not as a 10, Felix likes playing as a 10. And then, you know, Mudryk has a chance there to play. I mean, even again, like Chile and Gusto in there. Do you know what I mean? And Lavia over whatever. You could see the quality is absolutely immense there. I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to show you guys because I think there's a, you know, Pedro Neto could be the starting right wing at the end of the season. I'm not saying I want him to be. I love Noni Madueke, and what you guys need to remember is I am an England fan. I am very, very excited that Noni Madueke got called up for the England squad, and I'd love, you know, like I love Bukayo Saka as an England fan, not as an Arsenal player. And if he's gonna make England win the World Cup, Bukayo Saka, he starts for me. But I would love, as a Chelsea fan, for Noni Madueke to take his place. You know, and Cole Palmer and Noni Madueke to be combining for England as starters. I'd love that, of course I would. But for the moment, in terms of watching Premier League football for the last few years, though that I can see if we can make it work, that front four, that attacking lineup. And, you know, you're always going to see every game, either off the bench or maybe starting in other competitions, Joao Felix and stuff like that. Everyone's going to get their chance. Who do you think is going to be the starters by the end of the season? Please leave your thoughts down below. I'm very, very excited to hear what people think about this. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Can't wait to read your comments. See you soon, hopefully. Peace.